What's good, YouTube? Dmgaming here, guys. Hope everybody's having an awesome day, man. Good start to the week. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I've been busy, of course. Y'all know that, man. Stuff been going on with college and finishing up school and stuff like that. But, guys, we got some Dragon Ball Z Kakarot information that pretty sure some of y'all have seen right now. But if you haven't, I wanted to give my thoughts on it. Now, I do have a video coming up about the Tenkaichi 4 game that's coming out and some stuff you're going to want to hear in regards to the Unreal Engine 5 that I believe they're going to be using to develop the game. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the bell icon so you don't miss a single upload. Let's try to get this video to 1,000 likes, guys. That'll be greatly appreciated. So on yesterday, DBS or Dragon Ball Super tweeted out this, and I know DBS Hype shared this as well. The next DLC pack for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will be one of these. And of course, Dragon Ball Super Kakarot, and then also Dragon Ball GT Kakarot. He said it would be one of those. And me personally, you see my comment there. If I had to guess, I'd say Super, then GT. And I want to explain that because a lot of people really want GT. Now, I will say this was yesterday. He tweeted this out today. Let me back up to the thread. He said it is Super, by the way. It amazes me to see how many people want it to be GT. This was tweeted out today. So I believe him. He's a credible source. DBS Chronicles, DBS Hype, all those guys are very credible. Dragon Ball Super Kakarot is going to be a thing. Now, this is something that he noted. It is not a sequel, guys. This will be the next DLC pack. Okay? So for right now, what we have is Bardock. We have the World Tournament, and we don't know the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, and we don't know what the third DLC will be. But they haven't really given us like a name for these DLC packs, which is very interesting. Apparently, the next DLC pack, which probably will contain 3 DLCs, and we'll go into more detail probably today. I don't know. We'll see. As to what will they do in Dragon Ball Super? Now, what's interesting is some people made some good points that I am going to point out with this. But guys, the stage is set for Dragon Ball Super. And we also understand that Super, if we're looking at the timeline of things, Super falls before the end of Dragon Ball Z. Before Goku fights Oob, Dragon Ball Super occurs. And I find it strange. I found it strange early on that, you know, we wouldn't get, like, why haven't they showed Goku versus Oob and, you know, stuff like that? But it makes sense. And guys, look, I know people are going to say, DM, you said that they wouldn't get Dragon Ball Super, blase, blase, blase. Guys, I was reporting information that they said out of their own mouths. They clearly, literally said that this is a Dragon, when they was asked about Dragon Ball Super DLC, they said this is a Dragon Ball Z game. All right. This was during the time of the old producer. Now, I don't know if the new producer coming in had anything to do with the change. Me personally, guys, I believe that money talks. And when people bought, because remember they said that the Trunks DLC was the final DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I told y'all back then, money talks. If enough people buy this DLC and it gets rated high enough, they're gonna do more content. Also, I said be on the lookout because they said the same thing with Xenoverse, and how many other DLCs did they get? But we have to go with what they tell us, right? And lo and behold, we get more DLC. All right. Now we get Dragon Ball Super. So finally, your Dragon Ball Super fans, including myself, I'm a Dragon Ball fan in general, you can be happy because you're going to get DLC based on Dragon Ball Super. And I find it hard pressed to believe that it'll be a boss battle episode. No, I think they're going to do legit sagas. Now, people may say, well, why didn't they make this a separate game? Okay. And remember that I talked about this, me and Kenzaru, we had a live stream and we talked about this as well, in that Dragon Ball Super, there's no base of operations, if you will. Like, for example, the first tournament arc in Dragon Ball Super takes place on an unknown on the unknown planet. Like, there's literally nothing around. It's just the ring. And that's basically where the entire saga took place, you know. And then same thing with the exhibition tournament, and then same thing with the Tournament of Power. Like, as opposed to Dragon Ball Z, they went to Planet Namek, they were on Planet Earth, blase, blase. You know, there were a lot of different locations that they went through between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Okay, now as far as why it's not Dragon Ball GT, like I said before, I understand why it's not, because Guys, GT is pretty much the end of the road, if you will. That is it. And I know it's not a Akira Toriyama thing or whatever, but if you're looking on the timeline of things, GT falls after Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super occurs before the World Tournament at the end of the Majin Buu saga, or at the end of Dragon Ball Z, per se. So, guys, the stage is already set. Okay, if you look at the Trunks DLC, you know, that was to me a dead giveaway that they're going to end up doing some super content, because they didn't have to put Dabura in there. They didn't have to put Supreme Kai in there. Everything is done for a reason. The stage is perfectly set for Goku Black. Okay, and that's the first arc in Dragon Ball. Yeah, it's Goku Black. You know, now that one could have some exploration because it basically takes place in destroyed West City. You see what I'm saying? I can see that DLC easily happening. Also, notice that Trunks, you're able to continue training with him. Guys, I would not be surprised if this is going to pick up where the main game is at. In the main game currently, you know, you have Super Saiyan Blue Goku, you have Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. You know, you got a dope Gohan and things like that, and you're still able to train. And remember, we always wonder, why are we still able to train if there's nothing to do? This could be the very well reason why. We are trying to get stronger for a tougher opponent. Same thing in Trunks' timeline. And then through the main game, we'll have to go to Trunks' timeline and help him fight Goku Black and stuff like that. Like, this first DLC is going to be a banger. And then, you know, the second DLC, I can already tell you, if there's 3 DLCs, the first one is going to be the Goku Black arc. The second one is going to be the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament. And then the third one, of course, the Tournament of Power. That, it makes sense. But remember what I told y'all about the current DLC. With them doing the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. Remember I told y'all, if they're going to do Super, they're going to need to do fighting on the ground, because Super is full of tournaments. You see what I'm saying? And if people always, oh, I want the Tournament of Power, I want the Tournament of Power. That's all well and fine. But you have to understand, the Tournament of Power, they couldn't fly. You see what I'm saying? So they would have to change the game to where we could fight on the ground. Lo and behold, the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, like I told y'all, is opening the door. People, why are they going back to that? Because it is monumental. It's the first tournament that Goku actually won. Not only that, but it opens the door for future tournament-style DLCs in the game. Don't be surprised if the third DLC for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot in this current season is going to be Goku's time in the other world, because that was never shown, and that is the biggest question left behind in Dragon Ball. I know people want Broly. I don't think Broly's going to happen. It's a possibility that they can even do Dragon Ball Super Broly for a boss battle DLC type of deal. You know what I'm saying? Picture 3 story DLCs, Goku Black, Universe 6 and 7 tournament, and then the Tournament of Power, and then you have a boss battle episode with Goku, with Super Saiyan Broly. And, you know, the thing about it is, oh, well, they don't have fusion, things like that. The only hang up with the Broly thing is actually, no, there's no hang up at all. Because if they do Goku's time in the other world, which I think is going to be the third DLC, then remember what happens in the movie Fusion Reborn. That occurs during that same time. It occurs during Goku's time in the other world and stuff like that. You know, Vegeta's there. They fuse, they fight Janemba, Pikkon is there. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. I think that occurs actually during, after Vegeta. No, yeah, it's during the same time. After Vegeta dies fighting Majin Buu, Vegeta's already dead. Goku is still in the other world, because remember, he came back during the Buu saga, hadn't yet got wished back permanently, whatever. You get what I'm saying? That's all right there together. You see what I'm saying? And I think, you know, because like I said, it's the biggest question left in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is, okay, what happened to Goku after he died fighting Cell? And I think they're going to give us that Fusion Reborn. Goku and Gogeta Fusion is now in the game, and it opens the door for Dragon Ball Super Broly. The stage is already set for Goku Black with the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament in the game, ring outs and things like that. Guys, these things aren't happening for no reason. They're all implemented for a reason. In the Goku thing in the other world, you had the other world tournament. Now they can do the tournament with Goku and Oob at the end of Z. Now they can do the Universe 6 and 7 tournament. Now they can do the exhibition tournament where they fought Bergamo and them. Now they can do the Tournament of Power, which is extremely monumental in Dragon Ball Super. All of these things lead up to a bigger picture, and I am freaking stoked. I am excited for it. I don't think that this DLC is going to pack a major punch. Don't expect much from the 23rd World Martial Arts DLC. I'm not talking about the Dragon Ball Super one. I'm talking about the 23rd World Martial Arts tournament. Don't expect a lot from this DLC, guys, because to me, this DLC is more of a stage setter. It is huge for them to implement the tournament mode. And guys, don't expect an in-depth, elaborate story, because I think the majority of the work went into creating ground combat for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. The biggest question is this going to carry over to the main game? I pray to God that it will. You know, how? I don't know. I think that it would be cool if ground combat becomes a thing in Kakarot. They have to implement some new mechanics, being able to take flight from the ground and things like that. I personally don't think that they will implement this into the main game. The reason why is because they would have to completely restructure how the bosses fight in the main game. Because currently, all the bosses are designed to fight in the air. Their super attacks, when they're in surge mode and everything, it takes them into the air. The biggest thing that I can say if they were to do that is they would add some new moves to these enemies and give us another chance to fight them. And I know people are saying for New Game Plus and stuff like that, but you have to understand, I think the reason they're not giving us a New Game Plus is simply because this is not meant to be something of that nature. This is meant to be a living, breathing Dragon Ball world. Does that make sense? That's why we have the time machine. Now, I'm 100% with the idea of scaling enemies in the time machine. They tried to make it to where the game was harder, and yeah, it's harder. I'm not gonna say it's more difficult. The enemies just hit a lot harder. You see what I'm saying? That's what's more harder. They don't fight any different. They just take off more damage. But yet and still, they are making some conscious efforts. But the DLCs, guys, are adding so much value to this game that it's very impressive. And I really wish that they could maybe go go back to like the first two DLCs where we added all these transformations and stuff. Start adding this stuff to the main game in some capacity, because I love being able to play the DLCs, but I hated that nothing goes back with it. Now, I know that with the Bardock DLC, there's nothing to add to the main game from that. You see what I'm saying? I think one thing they could have added was Vegeta's melee combos could have been added to his skill tree. I think that was a missed opportunity there for something fresh in the main game. But I think that they may be holding off on that simply because he'd be the only one with it. Goku wouldn't have it. But now Goku's going to have some ground combat moves that I'm wondering, are these going to carry over to the main game? I think eventually they will for both Goku and Vegeta, as well as some of the other Z fighters, to have these ground combat types of deals. Now, real quick, what I want to check while I have y'all here is I want to look at the Steam files for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, because I strongly believe that this DLC is getting ready to launch. Let's see. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, y'all, this is gonna come out this month. They haven't touched this DLC in over a week. I don't know if it's the Chinese. I don't think it's the Chinese New Year or anything like that may have them off on a break or something like that. Now, I know there are going to be some delays in the stuff, like normally like 2 to 3 days, because they closing down the Montreal office for CyberConnect 2. But guys, 7-8 days, guys, I would say this, within the next 2 weeks, expect a announcement trailer for this DLC. Okay, expect it. They don't go this long without touching this stuff, dude. I don't think it's the Chinese New Year, so I don't think that has anything to do with it, because normally during that time they do take a break. Like, they shut down. They not doing this stuff. But 7 or 8 days, guys, this DLC is gonna drop this month. It's going to drop this month. So be ready for it. We'll get to play the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. And that's the thing. I don't know what else they could add to it. There was a surprise in the Bardock DLC. There was a surprise in the Trunks DLC. I'm expecting some form of surprise. I don't know what. Like I said, I'm really hoping that they change some stuff in the main game with a free update, possibly. Looking at the scans, the only thing they're working on is 2.0. There's nothing else, you know, that they're working on. So I don't know. There could be some stuff added to the main game as well. But we got to go with what we see. This is going to be amazing. The stage is set for Dragon Ball Super Kakarot. We've done videos on it. It's becoming a reality. It's just not in the form of a sequel, which is interesting too, because I think that that Goku talked about that as well, where he was saying that this Dragon Ball Super Kakarot shouldn't be a separate game. It should just be DLC, and I completely agree with that. So Super excited for it. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below, guys. I hope that y'all have an awesome rest of your day and an awesome week, guys. I do plan on doing another video. I gotta get back at it, guys. It has been tough, man. It's been tough. I've been dealing with a lot of financial issues and stuff like that, man. That's why I'm trying to finish and get my degree so that I can make more money. And really, this needs to be more consistent. I need more consistency in YouTube. So please, if you support the channel, hit the like button, subscribe. Guys, that helps out a ton, especially with my morale with the channel and things like that. So that's all I got for right now, y'all. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.